Seniors, not all fruits are as healthy as they seem, and some can quietly harm your body, spike blood sugar, or worsen existing health issues. Doctors warn that these 6 fruits can be dangerous if eaten regularly after 60. In this video, I'll reveal exactly which fruits to avoid and why your health may depend on it. Let's dive into a fruit that often flies under the radar, star fruit. With its striking star-shaped slices, vibrant yellow hue, and a sweet tart flavor, star fruit seems like an exotic treat that could brighten anyone's day. It's the kind of fruit you might spot at a farmer's market or in the tropical section of a grocery store and think, why not give this a try? For many, it feels like a healthy, adventurous choice, low in calories, high in vitamin C, and packed with antioxidants. But here's the unexpected twist. For seniors, especially those with kidney problems, this seemingly harmless fruit can turn into a hidden danger, lurking in plain sight. The very compounds that give it its unique flavor can pose a serious threat to an aging body, transforming a simple snack into a potential health hazard that most are completely unaware of, highlighting how even natural foods can carry unseen risks. So, what makes star fruit so risky? The answer lies in a little-known toxin called caramboxin, which is naturally present in the fruit. In a young, healthy body, the kidneys act like a top-notch filtration system, swiftly removing caramboxin from the bloodstream and sending it on its way. No harm, no foul. But as we age, our kidneys don't perform with the same vigor they once did. It's a natural part of growing older, as kidney function declines gradually over time. For seniors, this means that caramboxin doesn't get cleared out as efficiently. Instead, it lingers in the body, building up in the bloodstream and setting the stage for some serious health complications. This gradual accumulation, often unnoticed until it's too late, is precisely why vigilance is key, especially when dealing with fruits like star fruit, which hide their dangers so well behind a facade of health and vibrancy. To illustrate just how dangerous this can be, let's talk about John, a 72-year-old retiree living in Tampa, Florida. John was the picture of conscientious living, priding himself on his healthy habits, daily walks, plenty of water, and a diet rich in fresh fruits and vegetables. One day, while browsing the produce aisle, he spotted star fruit and thought it would be a fun, nutritious addition to his morning routine. He started blending it into his smoothies, enjoying its juicy sweetness and feeling good about trying something new. For the first few days, everything seemed fine, but then subtle changes crept in. John began feeling dizzy, nothing major at first, just a slight wobble when he stood up. Then came the confusion. He'd walk into a room and forget why he was there, or struggle to find the right words during a conversation. He chalked it up to a long day, or maybe not drinking enough water, but soon fatigue hit him like a freight train. He felt drained, barely able to get through his usual chores. One morning, things took a terrifying turn. He woke up, looked at the calendar, and couldn't remember what day it was. His family, alarmed by his disorientation, rushed him to the emergency room. After a flurry of tests, blood work, scans, and a detailed medical history, the doctors pinpointed the cause: star fruit toxicity. It turned out John had mild kidney disease, a condition he'd never been diagnosed with and had no symptoms of until now. The caramboxin from the star fruit had accumulated in his system, overwhelming his compromised kidneys and wreaking havoc on his nervous system. John's story isn't just a fluke. It's a stark reminder of how deceptive this fruit can be, acting as a silent aggressor to unsuspecting individuals. John's experience isn't an isolated incident, and it highlights why seniors are particularly at risk. The National Kidney Foundation has sounded the alarm, warning that even a small serving of star fruit, think a few slices or a single fruit, can be life-threatening for seniors with reduced kidney function. And here's a sobering statistic. 1 in 3 adults over the age of 65 has some form of kidney disease, according to the National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases. What's even more troubling is that many of them don't even know it. Kidney disease can be a silent condition, creeping along without obvious symptoms until something like star fruit pushes it over the edge. So, even if you feel fine and assume your kidneys are in tip-top shape, there's a chance they're not, making star fruit a gamble not worth taking. This hidden vulnerability among older adults means that seemingly harmless choices can become profoundly dangerous, emphasizing the need for informed decisions regarding dietary intake. Let's break down exactly what happens when caramboxin overstays its welcome in your system. This toxin isn't just a minor nuisance, it's a neurotoxin, meaning it specifically targets the nervous system, manifesting in a variety of alarming ways. Dizziness and confusion are often the first red flags, as the toxin disrupts normal brain signaling, leaving you feeling off balance and foggy-headed. Severe fatigue sets in as your body struggles to cope, making even simple tasks feel exhausting. Memory problems, much like John experienced, can cause short-term recall to falter, turning routine days into a disorienting blur. In more severe cases, caramboxin can overstimulate the nervous system, triggering seizures, and if the buildup becomes extreme and untreated, star fruit poisoning can escalate to a coma, a rare but documented outcome in medical literature. Beyond the neurological chaos, there's also the kidney overload to consider. When your kidneys can't filter out caramboxin, it doesn't just sit there harmlessly, it actively damages your system. Studies, like one from the Clinical Journal of the American Society of Nephrology, have shown that star fruit can even cause acute kidney injury in people with pre-existing conditions, turning a mild issue into a full-blown crisis. So why do seniors keep reaching for star fruit despite these risks? It's not hard to see the allure. Star fruit has an exotic charm. Its unique shape and tropical origins make it feel special, a departure from everyday apples and bananas. It's sweet and juicy, with a refreshing bite that's perfect for a snack or a garnish. Plus, it's often marketed as a superfood, brimming with vitamin C, fiber, and antioxidants, qualities that sound tailor-made for health-conscious older adults looking to boost their diets. But for those with compromised kidneys, this healthy choice is a wolf in sheep's clothing, offering an illusion of benefit while harboring a real threat. The marketing often overshadows the crucial individual health considerations, leading to misguided dietary choices. The good news is that you don't have to give up on tropical flavors to stay safe. There are plenty of delicious, kidney-friendly options out there that deliver that satisfying tropical vibe without the gamble, letting you enjoy your food with peace of mind. Consider Asian pears, which offer a crisp, juicy texture similar to star fruit, but without the toxic risk. Plus, they're rich in fiber and vitamin C. Dragon fruit, just as exotic as star fruit with its vibrant pink skin and speckled flesh, is completely safe and loaded with antioxidants. Mangoes, sweet, succulent, and bursting with tropical goodness, are a no-brainer for seniors seeking a safe alternative. Papayas, when consumed judiciously, as we'll discuss later for their own considerations, can bring a buttery texture and a dose of vitamins A and C, all without posing the specific caramboxin danger to your kidneys. These choices are not just tasty, but are genuinely supportive of senior health, allowing for diverse and enjoyable dietary experiences. At the end of the day, food should be a source of nourishment and joy, not a roll of the dice with your health. Star fruit might look tempting on the shelf with its glossy finish and promise of exotic flavor, but for seniors, especially those with kidney issues, it's a risk not worth taking. The potential for dizziness, confusion, seizures, or worse far outweighs any nutritional perks it might offer. So the next time you're tempted to toss a star fruit into your cart, think twice. Leave it behind, reach for a safer alternative, and let your kidneys and your nervous system breathe a sigh of relief. Your well-being is too valuable to compromise on such a gamble. Having revealed the surprising truth about star fruit, let's now turn our attention to another everyday item in your fruit bowl: grapes. They're a convenient, bite-sized treat, bursting with juicy sweetness, and often hailed as a go-to healthy snack. You'll find them in lunchboxes, fruit bowls, and even as a quick pick-me-up on a busy day. At first glance, grapes seem like an innocent, wholesome choice. Nature's candy, right? But for older adults, this seemingly harmless fruit can hide some unexpected dangers. Specifically, grapes pose two significant health risks for seniors: sudden blood sugar spikes and a surprisingly high choking hazard. Now, you might be scratching your head, wondering how something as small and simple as a grape could be a problem. After all, they're not loaded with artificial additives or drenched in syrup. But don't let their size or natural appeal fool you. There's more to the story. Let's break it down step by step so you can see why this fruit deserves a closer look, especially as we age. The seemingly benign nature of grapes belies these hidden threats, making them a crucial topic for discussion in senior health. First, let's talk about the sugar content, a surprisingly impactful aspect of grapes. Did you know that a single cup of grapes, about 150 grams or a modest handful, contains roughly 23 grams of sugar? To put that into perspective, that's equivalent to the sugar in 4 standard sugar cubes or a small candy bar. Yes, it's natural sugar, not the refined stuff you'd find in a donut, but that doesn't mean it's harmless for seniors, particularly those with diabetes, prediabetes, or even just a family history of blood sugar issues. As we get older, our bodies don't handle sugar as efficiently as they once did. Metabolism slows, insulin sensitivity can decrease, and the pancreas might not pump out insulin as effectively. This means that even natural sugars, like those in grapes, can hit your system like a freight train, causing blood sugar levels to soar. What happens next? You might feel a quick burst of energy, followed by a crash that leaves you exhausted, foggy-headed, or grumpy. Over time, these spikes can strain your system, increasing the risk of heart disease, worsening diabetes complications, or even contributing to weight gain if they're a regular part of your diet. Take Patricia, for example, a 68-year-old retiree from Chicago with a story that drives this point home. Patricia had always been mindful of her health, but after a recent checkup showed her blood sugar creeping up, she decided to make a change. She swapped her usual afternoon cookies, a habit she'd enjoyed with her tea, for a bowl of seedless red grapes. "It's fruit," she told herself. "It's got to be better for me." She pictured herself making a smart, virtuous choice, cutting out processed junk for something fresh and natural. But a few weeks later, things took an unexpected turn. Patricia started noticing she felt unusually tired, even after a full night's sleep. Her vision would blur slightly in the afternoons, and she'd get lightheaded after eating, symptoms she hadn't experienced before. Worried, she dug out her old blood sugar monitor from her pre-diabetes days and tested herself after her grape snack. The reading floored her, 180 milligrams per deciliter, far higher than her usual range of 100 to 120. Confused and a little frustrated, she booked an appointment with her doctor. "I thought I was doing the right thing," she told him, her voice tinged with disbelief. Her doctor reviewed her diet and zeroed in on the culprit almost immediately, those innocent-looking grapes. Even though Patricia had ditched the sugary processed snacks, the natural sugars in grapes were hitting her system just as hard, maybe even harder. Research from Harvard Medical School backs this up, noting that grapes have a high glycemic index, meaning they can spike blood sugar faster than some processed foods like whole grain bread. For seniors whose bodies are less equipped to smooth out those spikes, this can turn a healthy snack into a hidden health hazard. Sugar isn't the only issue. The second danger grapes pose for seniors is their potential as a choking hazard, a risk that's less obvious but just as serious. As we age, our swallowing reflexes naturally weaken. The muscles in the throat don't coordinate as smoothly, and the gag reflex might not kick in as quickly. Foods that are small, round, smooth, and slippery, like grapes, are prime candidates to get lodged in the windpipe. They're just the right size to block an airway if swallowed whole or not chewed thoroughly, and their slick skin makes them tough to dislodge once stuck. The numbers tell a sobering story. According to the National Safety Council, choking incidents involving grapes among seniors have jumped by 30% over the past 5 years. Why the uptick? Part of it is awareness. Doctors and caregivers are reporting these cases more often, but it's also because seniors are eating grapes without realizing the risk. Picture this. You're watching TV, popping grapes absent-mindedly, and one slips down before you've chewed it enough. For a younger person, a quick cough might fix it. For an older adult, it could turn into a life-threatening emergency. This quiet threat underscores the need for particular care, especially for those experiencing age-related changes in their swallowing abilities, transforming a simple act of snacking into a potential emergency. So, does this mean grapes are off the table entirely? Not necessarily. If you love them, you don't have to banish them from your kitchen forever. but you do need to be strategic. Here's how to enjoy grapes without rolling the dice on your health. First, cut them up. Slice each grape into quarters before eating. This not only reduces the choking risk by making them less likely to get stuck, but also slows down how quickly you eat them, giving your body more time to process the sugar. Next, pair them smartly. Combine grapes with a protein or healthy fat, like a small cube of cheese or a handful of almonds. This helps buffer the sugar rush by slowing digestion and absorption. Finally, watch your portions. Limit yourself to 6 small grapes at a time, about half a cup. It's enough to satisfy your craving without overloading your system. If you're open to switching things up, there are safer, senior-friendly alternatives that deliver flavor and nutrition without the risks. Fresh berries, like strawberries or blueberries, are lower in sugar, packed with antioxidants, and easier to chew. Or try melon, watermelon, with caution as discussed, cantaloupe or honeydew, cut into small, manageable pieces. They're hydrating, naturally sweet, and far less likely to cause trouble. These small adjustments can make a world of difference, allowing you to enjoy fruity goodness without compromising safety. The bottom line is that grapes may look like a harmless little fruit, but for seniors, they're a classic case of proceed with caution. Whether it's their surprisingly high sugar content sneaking up on your blood glucose, or their sneaky potential to turn a snack into a choking scare, they're not as innocent as they seem. By being mindful of how you eat them or exploring other options, you can keep enjoying your food without putting your health on the line. After all, staying safe and feeling good shouldn't mean giving up the simple pleasures, just tweaking them a little. Prioritizing awareness and smart choices allows you to maintain both enjoyment and health in your daily routine. Let's turn our attention now to a fruit that almost everyone loves: oranges. They're juicy, refreshing, and packed with vitamin C, often celebrated for boosting the immune system. At first glance, they seem like the perfect healthy snack. But here's a surprising truth that many overlook. Oranges can pose significant risks for seniors, particularly due to issues like acid reflux, medication interference, and dental damage. While oranges have long been a breakfast staple, as we age, our bodies don't process citrus fruits the same way they once did. Let me break it down for you and explain why this beloved fruit might not be as harmless as it seems for older adults, revealing layers of complexity hidden beneath their bright and wholesome image. Have you ever felt a burning sensation in your chest after eating or drinking something acidic? That's acid reflux, medically known as gastroesophageal reflux disease, GERD, a condition where stomach acid flows back into the esophagus. It's incredibly common among seniors. Over 60% of adults over 60 experience it, according to the GERD Foundation. Oranges, along with other citrus fruits, are among the top triggers for this condition due to their high acidity. This can lead to a range of uncomfortable symptoms, including heartburn and indigestion, a painful burning feeling that can linger for hours, throat irritation, a scratchy or sore throat caused by acid exposure is also common, as is disrupted sleep due to nighttime reflux that wakes you up or prevents restful sleep. For many seniors, this discomfort can become a daily struggle, and the culprit might be hiding in plain sight, their morning orange. Take Margaret, a 73-year-old retiree from Minnesota, as an example. She suffered from frequent heartburn for years, chalking it up to the natural effects of aging. She tried various over-the-counter remedies, but nothing provided lasting relief. It wasn't until she eliminated oranges from her diet that she noticed a dramatic improvement. Margaret's story highlights how a seemingly innocent habit can silently wreak havoc on your well-being. If you've been dealing with acid reflux, frequent burping, or stomach discomfort, it might be worth reconsidering that daily orange. Beyond digestive issues, oranges present another serious concern for seniors. They can interfere with medications. Many older adults rely on daily prescriptions to manage conditions like high blood pressure, cholesterol, or depression. According to the Mayo Clinic, oranges and orange juice can reduce the absorption of over 50 common medications, making them less effective. This happens because citrus fruits contain compounds that block enzymes in the body responsible for metabolizing these drugs. As a result, the medication may not work as intended, potentially putting your health at risk. Some examples of affected medications include blood pressure drugs like atenolol and felodipine, commonly prescribed to control hypertension. Cholesterol-lowering statins like simvastatin, used to manage heart disease risk. And antidepressants like Zoloft, which helps regulate mood. Picture this. You take your blood pressure pill every morning, assuming it's keeping your numbers in check, only to discover that your glass of orange juice has been undermining its effectiveness. For seniors who depend on these medications to stay healthy, this interference can have serious consequences. If you're on any daily meds, it's wise to consult your doctor about whether citrus fruits might be affecting their performance. This interaction is a critical, yet often overlooked aspect of medication management for seniors. There's one more risk that often flies under the radar. Oranges can harm your teeth. As we age, the enamel, the hard protective outer layer of our teeth, naturally thins out. Acidic foods like oranges accelerate this erosion, leaving teeth more vulnerable. This can result in tooth sensitivity, pain or discomfort when eating hot, cold, or sweet foods. It also increases the risk of cavities, as weakened enamel makes it easier for decay to set in, and can even cause gum irritation, where acid inflames sensitive gum tissue. For seniors whose enamel is already compromised, the acidity in oranges can be especially damaging. If you still want to enjoy citrus without the dental fallout, try this. Drink a glass of water afterward to rinse away the acid, or sip orange juice through a straw to limit contact with your teeth. That said, the safest approach is to cut back on acidic foods like oranges to protect your smile. Protecting dental health is an integral part of overall well-being in later life, and careful dietary choices play a significant role. Worried about missing out on vitamin C? You don't need oranges to meet your needs. There are plenty of gentler alternatives that deliver the same immune-boosting benefits without the risks. Here are some great options. Bell peppers surprisingly pack more vitamin C than oranges and have far less acidity. Toss them into salads, stir fries, or enjoy them raw as a crunchy snack. Kiwis, sweet, tangy, and loaded with nutrients, offer a delicious way to get your vitamin C without the acid overload. Strawberries are a low-acid fruit that's easy to add to yogurt, oatmeal, or eat on their own. Broccoli and Brussels sprouts are nutrient powerhouses, providing vitamin C alongside other health perks. These choices are kinder to your stomach, teeth, and medication regimen, making them ideal for seniors looking to stay healthy. This diverse array ensures that nutritional needs can be met safely and deliciously. Can't imagine life without oranges? You don't have to give them up entirely, just enjoy them more wisely. Here are some practical tips to minimize the risks. Time it right. Eat oranges in the middle of the day rather than first thing in the morning or before bed to lessen the strain on your digestive system. Mind your meds. Wait at least 2 hours after taking medications before consuming citrus to avoid interference. Dilute the juice. Mix orange juice with water in a 1-to-1 ratio to reduce its acidity and make it easier on your stomach and teeth. Balance it out. Pair oranges with alkaline foods like bananas or avocados to counteract some of the acidity. While these strategies can help, they don't erase the risks completely. For seniors, especially those with acid reflux, medication needs, or dental concerns, avoiding oranges altogether might be the smartest move. It's about making informed choices that prioritize long-term health over short-term gratification. The bottom line is that oranges may look like a health hero with their vibrant color and vitamin-packed reputation, but for seniors, they can be more of a villain. From triggering acid reflux to interfering with medications and eroding tooth enamel, the downsides can outweigh the benefits as we age. By understanding these risks and exploring safer alternatives, you can make choices that truly support your health. So next time you reach for an orange, consider whether it's worth it, or if a bell pepper or kiwi might be a better fit for your golden years. Empowering yourself with this knowledge is a key step towards maintaining well-being and enjoying life's simple pleasures safely. Let's turn our attention to a fruit that's been crowned a nutritional superstar in recent years: avocados. With their rich, creamy texture and a reputation for being packed with heart-healthy fats, avocados have become a darling of health enthusiasts everywhere. You'll spot them smashed on toast, blended into smoothies, or scooped straight from the skin with a sprinkle of salt. They're often touted as a must-have addition to a balanced diet, loaded with potassium, fiber, and those coveted monounsaturated fats. But here's the twist that many seniors might not see coming. Avocados can lead to unexpected weight gain, throw a wrench into how certain medications work, and even spark allergic reactions that catch you off guard. I can almost hear the protests now. Wait a minute, aren't avocados supposed to be healthy? And you're not wrong, they do bring some impressive benefits to the table. Those healthy fats can support cholesterol levels, and the vitamins can give your immune system a boost. But for older adults, the story isn't so straightforward. The key lies in understanding portion control, medication interactions, and your body's changing tolerances. Let's peel back the layers and explore why this trendy fruit might not always be the senior-friendly superfood it's cracked up to be. This examination goes beyond the general health halo, delving into the specific nuances of an aging body's interaction with even the most acclaimed healthy foods. First up is the caloric pitfall. A medium-sized avocado, about 150 grams without the pit, clocks in at around 240 calories. To put that into context, that's roughly the same as a cheeseburger from a fast food joint or a hearty bowl of oatmeal with toppings. For younger folks with faster metabolisms, that might not raise an eyebrow, but as we age, our metabolic rate slows to a crawl, and our daily caloric needs shrink, sometimes to as little as 1,600 to 2,000 calories for seniors, depending on activity levels. That means a single avocado can account for a big chunk of your day's energy intake. Even if you're not piling on extras like bread or dressings, this calorie density can sneak up on you, especially if you're thinking, it's just fruit, how bad can it be? The ease with which these seemingly healthy calories can accumulate underscores a major dietary challenge for seniors. Consider Robert, a 75-year-old retiree from Denver whose experience illustrates this perfectly. Robert had read all the hype about avocados being a superfood and decided to jump on the bandwagon. He started his mornings with avocado toast, half an avocado mashed onto whole grain bread, a drizzle of olive oil, and a dash of pepper. It felt like a wholesome upgrade from his old butter and jam routine, and he was proud of his healthy switch. But 3 months later, Robert stepped on the scale and was stunned to see he'd gained 12 pounds. That extra weight didn't just mess with his self-esteem, it took a physical toll. His knees, already creaky from years of wear and tear, started aching more with every step. He felt sluggish, like he was dragging himself through the day, and his energy just wasn't what it used to be. Puzzled, he mentioned it to his doctor during a routine visit. After a quick rundown of his diet, the doctor pointed to the avocado toast. "You're eating a meal's worth of calories in one sitting," he explained, "and your body doesn't need that much anymore." The American Heart Association echoes this caution, urging seniors to keep a close eye on portion sizes with high-fat foods like avocados. Even the good kind of fat can add up fast. Beyond the calorie trap, there's another curveball. Avocados can meddle with medications that many seniors rely on. Studies have shown that avocados contain compounds like vitamin K and certain enzymes that can interfere with how your body absorbs or processes key drugs. Take blood thinners, for instance, like warfarin, a common prescription for preventing clots. Avocado's high vitamin K content can counteract warfarin's effects, making it less effective and potentially raising your risk of complications. Similarly, some blood pressure medications and antidepressants, such as certain SSRIs, can have their absorption altered by the fats and nutrients in avocados, leading to uneven results. The kicker is that this isn't something doctors always flag up front. Unless you're specifically asking, "Hey doc, will this avocado toast mess with my pills?" You might not get the heads up. For seniors managing hypertension, heart conditions, or mental health with daily meds, this oversight can turn a healthy habit into a risky one. Imagine diligently taking your blood pressure meds only to find your readings creeping up because of that guacamole you had at lunch. If you're on any of these medications, blood thinners, antihypertensives, or mood stabilizers, it's worth a quick chat with your doctor or pharmacist before making avocados a regular part of your diet. This proactive step can prevent unforeseen and potentially serious health consequences. Then there's the allergy angle, which might sound surprising for a fruit you've eaten without issue for years. Avocados contain proteins that are structurally similar to those in latex, a material found in gloves, balloons, and medical supplies. This overlap triggers what's known as latex fruit syndrome, and it's more common than you might think. Research estimates that about 6% of seniors have some degree of latex sensitivity, and for those folks, avocados can set off a reaction. Think itching or swelling in the mouth, throat irritation, digestive upset, or even red, irritated skin after handling them. Here's the unsettling part. Allergies aren't static. Your immune system can shift as you age, meaning you might sail through decades of guacamole unscathed, only to develop a sensitivity in your 70s or 80s. Picture Margaret, a 72-year-old from Phoenix who loved her weekly avocado salad. One day, after years of enjoying it, she noticed her lips tingling and her throat feeling scratchy after eating. At first, she chalked it up to something else, maybe a spice in the dressing. But when it happened again, she saw an allergist. Turns out her mild latex sensitivity from years of gardening gloves had crossed over to avocados. It's a reminder that just because you tolerated something fine in the past doesn't mean your body will give it a free pass forever. Does this mean avocados are a no-go? Not entirely. If you're hooked on their creamy goodness, you can still enjoy them with some guardrails. Here's how to play it safe. Keep it small. Cap your intake at 1/4 of an avocado per day, about 60 calories. That's enough to get the flavor without overloading your system. Pair it up. Never eat avocado solo. Combine it with protein like a boiled egg or fiber like a handful of veggies to slow digestion and blunt the calorie impact. Check your meds. If you're on blood thinners, blood pressure drugs, or antidepressants, run it by your doctor to confirm it's safe for your regimen. If you'd rather sidestep the risks altogether, there are plenty of alternatives that deliver similar benefits without the baggage. Drizzle a teaspoon of olive oil over your salad. It's a heart-healthy fat you can measure precisely with no guesswork needed. Or grab a small handful of walnuts or almonds, rich in nutrients, easy to portion, and free of medication interference. They've got that satisfying crunch without the hidden pitfalls. These sensible modifications allow for continued enjoyment while prioritizing safety. The takeaway is that avocados might be riding the superfood wave, but for seniors, they're a classic example of too much of a good thing. Whether it's the calorie creep that pads your waistline, the potential to throw your meds out of whack, or an allergy that sneaks up with age, they demand a little caution. You don't have to ditch them entirely, just approach them with eyes wide open, a measuring spoon in hand, and maybe a quick call to your doctor. After all, staying healthy shouldn't mean falling for every food trend that comes along. Informed caution is a cornerstone of healthful living, particularly for older adults. Let's now talk about a fruit that's practically synonymous with summer, watermelon. It's sweet, juicy, and bursting with water, making it a favorite for staying refreshed on hot days. At first glance, it seems like an ideal choice for seniors looking to beat the heat and stay hydrated. But here's the catch. Watermelon can pose some serious health risks for older adults, particularly those with heart conditions, kidney disease, or diabetes. Let's break down why this summertime staple might not be as harmless as it appears, and explore how seniors can still enjoy it safely. Its seemingly benign nature hides several pitfalls that are crucial for older individuals to understand for their well-being. The hidden dangers of watermelon for seniors begin with its sheer water content. Watermelon is 92% water, which sounds like a hydration win, but for seniors, that high water content can be a double-edged sword. As we age, our kidneys don't process fluids as efficiently as they once did. Eating large amounts of watermelon can lead to fluid retention, where your body holds on to excess water instead of flushing it out. This can cause swelling. You might notice puffiness in your ankles, hands, or face. It can also lead to shortness of breath, as extra fluid can press on your lungs, making breathing harder, and even increased blood pressure, as too much water in your bloodstream forces your heart to pump harder, which is risky if you already have heart issues. Consider Betty, a 78-year-old from Arizona. She started eating watermelon every afternoon, thinking it was a smart way to stay hydrated. Within days, her feet swelled and she felt unusually tired. One night, she woke up gasping for air and ended up in the hospital. Doctors discovered that the excess fluid from her watermelon habit had overwhelmed her heart, a wake-up call that even healthy foods can have downsides. This is especially true for diuretic users. If you're on diuretics, water pills, for conditions like heart failure or high blood pressure, watermelon can interfere with their job. These meds are meant to remove excess fluid, but the fruit's high water content can counteract that effect, leading to potentially dangerous complications. Secondly, watermelon can be a sneaky sugar spike agent. Despite its light and refreshing taste, it has a high glycemic index, GI, meaning it can spike your blood sugar fast, almost like drinking soda. The American Diabetes Association notes that just 2 cups of watermelon can cause a rapid rise in blood sugar levels. For seniors with diabetes or prediabetes, this can lead to fatigue and dizziness, a sugar rush followed by a crash that leaves you drained. It can also cause mood swings, as blood sugar ups and downs can mess with your emotions. In the long term, frequent spikes can worsen diabetes control and increase the chance of complications like heart disease. Even if you don't have diabetes, those spikes can contribute to insulin resistance over time, a stepping stone to type 2 diabetes. So watermelon's sweetness comes with a hidden cost, making portion control and awareness critically important. Lastly, there are potassium pitfalls to consider. Here's a lesser-known fact: watermelon is loaded with potassium. While potassium is vital for heart and muscle health, too much can spell trouble for seniors with kidney disease. Aging kidneys struggle to filter out excess potassium, which can build up in the blood and cause hyperkalemia. Symptoms include irregular heartbeats, a serious and sometimes life-threatening issue, as well as muscle weakness, leaving you feeling shaky or unsteady on your feet. In extreme cases, high potassium can lead to heart failure, even stopping your heart. The National Kidney Foundation estimates that about 40% of people over 65 have some level of kidney dysfunction, often without realizing it. If your kidneys aren't at their best, piling on potassium-rich foods like watermelon could push them over the edge. This makes a seemingly harmless treat into a serious dietary consideration for a significant portion of the senior population. Love watermelon too much to let it go? You don't have to. Just take some precautions. Keep portions small. Stick to half a cup per serving to avoid overloading your system. Pair it smartly. Eat it with protein like nuts or fiber like seeds to slow sugar absorption and balance the meal. Time it right. Skip watermelon late in the day to prevent overnight fluid buildup. Most importantly, listen to your body. If you notice swelling, breathlessness, or fatigue after eating it, cut back. Want hydration and sweetness without the risks? Try these safer alternatives instead. Cucumber slices in water, cooling and hydrating with no sugar or potassium overload. Frozen berries are a tasty, low GI option that won't spike your blood sugar. Or try fruit-infused water. Add a hint of watermelon juice and mint to water for flavor without the full fruit's risks. These mindful adjustments allow for enjoyable and safe consumption. The bottom line is that watermelon might look like a guilt-free summer treat, but for seniors, especially those with heart, kidney, or blood sugar concerns, it's a fruit to approach with caution. While its hydrating qualities are undeniable, its high water content, sugar profile, and potassium levels demand consideration. Moderation and mindful eating can help you enjoy it without jeopardizing your health. Knowing these specific challenges allows for informed decisions, ensuring that summer pleasures don't inadvertently lead to health complications. Finally, let's take a closer look at papayas, a tropical fruit widely known for its digestive benefits. Many seniors choose to eat papayas because they've heard they can help with gut health, digestion, and even inflammation. While it's true that papayas offer some health benefits, there's another side to this fruit that isn't often discussed. In fact, for seniors, papayas can cause several serious health issues, especially if they're on medication or have sensitive stomachs. This might be surprising, but let's dive into why you should be cautious about eating papayas, particularly if you're over 65. The very qualities that make it appealing can also pose unforeseen challenges to an older, more sensitive system. One of the most significant concerns with papayas is how they interact with many medications commonly prescribed to seniors. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, has noted that papayas can interfere with the absorption and effectiveness of several types of medications, including blood thinners, diabetes medications, and antibiotics. This happens because papayas contain an enzyme called papain, which can alter the way your body absorbs and processes certain drugs. For example, seniors who take blood thinners, such as warfarin, are at an increased risk if they consume papayas regularly. Papayas can enhance the effects of the blood thinner, which may increase the likelihood of bleeding, making it especially dangerous for people with blood clotting disorders. Similarly, if you take diabetes medication, the consumption of papayas can cause a drastic drop in blood sugar levels, which could result in dizziness, confusion, weakness, and even fainting. Let's consider the story of Helen, a 71-year-old woman from San Diego. After hearing that papayas could improve digestion, she started eating them daily. However, after a few weeks, she began noticing that her blood pressure medication didn't seem to be working as effectively. Concerned, she visited her doctor, who asked about her diet. When Helen mentioned that she had been eating papayas regularly, the doctor immediately suspected a drug-food interaction. Once Helen cut papayas out of her diet, her blood pressure returned to normal. This is why seniors must be mindful of how the foods they eat interact with their medications. What might seem like a healthy choice could end up causing major complications. A thorough review of diet alongside medication is a vital component of holistic health management in later years. Another lesser-known danger of papayas is their connection to latex allergies. Many people with latex sensitivities find that they are also allergic to papayas because the fruit contains certain proteins that are similar to those in latex. For seniors with latex allergies, eating papayas can trigger allergic reactions such as skin rashes, itching, and swelling in the mouth. In severe cases, it can even cause difficulty breathing, which can be life-threatening. What makes this particularly concerning is that allergies to latex can develop later in life, even if you've eaten papayas in the past with no issues. So, just because you've consumed papayas before without any reactions, that doesn't guarantee you won't have an allergic response later on. It's always wise to be cautious and observe any changes in how your body reacts to certain foods as you age, as the immune system's responses can evolve over time. Papayas are often touted for their digestive enzyme, papain, which helps break down proteins and other foods in the stomach. While this can be beneficial for some, it can pose a problem for seniors. Many older adults already have sensitive stomachs, and the strong digestive properties of papain may irritate the stomach lining. This can lead to uncomfortable symptoms like bloating, gas, acid reflux, and even stomach cramps. If you've ever noticed discomfort after eating papaya, it could be a sign that your digestive system is struggling to process it properly. This is especially true for those who may already suffer from conditions like irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, or acid reflux, which can be aggravated by the enzyme in papayas. What serves as a digestive aid for some can become an irritant for others, particularly sensitive, older digestive systems. If you're looking to support your digestive health without the potential risks of papaya, there are plenty of other options. For example, plain yogurt or kefir are excellent choices, as they're both rich in probiotics, which promote a healthy gut. Ginger tea is another natural remedy that can help soothe the stomach and aid digestion, while fermented vegetables like sauerkraut or kimchi are fantastic sources of beneficial bacteria that support digestive health. However, if you still wish to eat papaya, there are a few precautions you can take to minimize the risks. First, never eat papaya on an empty stomach, as this can increase the likelihood of stomach irritation. Secondly, if you take medications for blood pressure, blood thinning, or diabetes, be sure to consult with your doctor or pharmacist before incorporating papayas into your diet. Start with just a small portion, perhaps only a few bites, and carefully monitor how your body reacts. If you experience any symptoms like dizziness, stomach discomfort, or unusual fatigue, it's a sign that papaya may not be the best choice for you. Being vigilant and responsive to your body's signals is crucial for maintaining health and comfort. Now that we've explored these 6 fruits, I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing you've learned today that surprised you? Or what's one change you'll bring into your life based on this information? Maybe it's swapping out a fruit, or simply being more mindful of your choices. Drop a comment below and let us know. Your feedback inspires me to keep creating content that matters to you and helps our community thrive. If you found this video valuable, please give it a like and share it with someone who might benefit from these insights. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos designed to help you live a healthier, happier life. Your support truly helps us spread these important lessons and reach more people. Thanks for watching, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next one.